Good evening, YouTube. So today we are going to be catching up our group of yearling girls. We're going to be doing a little bit of Estrus synchronization. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about that, tightening their interval, making it where when they start lambing, it's a tighter group. The lambs start dropping, and we know when to expect them. That way, you don't have a flock that's lambing at random intervals, and you walk outside one day and there's a random lamb in the pasture and you don't know who the mama is. It just makes it a whole lot simpler for a larger scale system. We're going to talk a little bit about the protocols we use, how we do that. We're going to synchronize some of our yearlings today. We're going to be putting seeders in, and in a couple weeks we're going to pull those seeders and turn our new ram in with them. There's a ton of estrus synchronization protocols out there. The one that we're going to be utilizing is we're going to put seeders in. Seeders are basically a intravaginal progesterone that they absorb through the vaginal wall. We leave those in for about 12 days, and then we're going to pull them out and give them an injection of estrumate or luteolise. What that does is causes them to ovulate in a tighter schedule. They should all ovulate really within 12 to 24 hours after we give that shot of luteolise. Basically what a seeder is there's tons of brands out there. These are the ones that we're going to be using today, and I'll show you how to do it later in the video. They've got a applicator that it goes in. This is what the applicator looks like. It slides down into the applicator, and then you insert that vaginally, and we will actually trim. There's a string or a little tag that hangs off of it. We trim that short. That way the other sheep, the other ewes, that they're nosy, that they're mischievous. They will see that hanging out and they'll start nibbling on it and chewing on it. And a lot of them, unless you trim that tag a little shorter, they will actually grab them and pull them out. And we've had them just laying in the field before and like, oh no, what sheep did that go to? So we'll trim those off. I'll show you how to do that later in the video. But today we're just inserting these seeders. I'll do another video in a couple weeks of us pulling the seeders out and inserting in the or giving the shot of luteolise or estrumate. We're probably going to go with estrumate. It's more of a synthetic luteolytic agent. So what that does is basically to not get into the physiology of it too bad, but it will basically cause them to ovulate a follicle. That when they ovulate that, then it is sitting there waiting on their ram to breed and fertilize. Alright, so this is what the actual seeder looks like. It is basically, this is the little tail, the tag end I was talking about that we trim off. So we will actually insert this into the applicator gun. And be sure, females wear gloves because there is hormones in this, and it can be something that can mess with your cycles if you get it on your hands. So insert that basically into the gun. Your tag end to be sticking out. It's kind of got a little curve to it. I don't know if you can tell, but you'll try to insert that curve up and into the vaginal cavity, and then you will push the plunger, and that plunger will stick the IUD out. Or it's not an IUD, it's an intravaginal device. It will actually insert it out. But first we will actually wipe the vulva, clean it, make sure there's no feces or debris, and then we'll insert this in. Alright, so first we're going to kind of wipe away any debris. And it got to be a sterile scrub by no means, but you just don't want no feces or bacteria introduced in. And then we'll take the curvature, it kind of curves this direction. You'll insert in and straight in, and then we'll push the plunger. So basically go up and in, and then insert and hold your tag in ever so slightly as we retrieve. Give it a little tug, make sure it's going to stay in, And then we will take some scissors, or some nippers in this case, and we're just going to trim that tag in. We're only going to leave out about a 1/2 inch or so, just so we can see that they're still in. But those girls get kind of curious, kind of pesty, and they will actually pull that out of each other if you leave that long end in there. So one more little pull to make sure it's seated, and it's in there. Alright, so again, how to load it. There's a little groove right here. You will slide the seeder down the groove, pinch the ends up, and push down until it's seated right there. And then we'll repeat the process. Just wipe off any debris off of the vulva. Insert up and over. Hold on, girl. Insert it up and then push it in. Hold the tag in. Make sure it's in. Pull the tag. It's not coming out. And then we trim that tag off just a little bit shorter. One more quick test and we're good to go. It should go a little faster now. Quick wipe. Insert. And this group that we're doing, this is the first time they have ever been exposed to a ram. So we're trying to synchronize them to make the process a little easier. It's going to make it where hopefully they all conceive first time around, since they've never been with a ram. So if they dance around a little bit and you got the ability to squeeze them up in a squeeze chute, it helps. It makes them where they don't dance around quite as bad. There we go. All right. So Jamie will load them. While she loads them, I'm loading a new seeder into the applicator gun. It just goes a little bit smoother that way. See if we can open the gate, put her in.
That one can go out.
All right. Last one. second day of estrus synchronization. Today we're going to be pulling the cedars, and we're going to give a shot of estrumate to make them ovulate and send them into heat. As soon as we do that, we're turning the ram in with these ladies, and then we'll probably leave him in there for about 30 days. 30 days is a pretty tight window for us, and since all these girls are a first time, they're yearlings, first time to be exposed or be with a ram, we do give them a little bit more time. So 30 to 45 days on these girls. We don't like a big, broad lambing season, which for us last year we kind of messed up. It ended up being, we lambed over about a 3-month time frame, which was kind of hectic. Just made planning and all that hard to do, and weaning was hard too. So these girls are going to be on about a 30-day window of when they're going to be due. We may turn a cleanup ram in later, but that's the plan for right now. So today we're going to be pulling the cedars and giving a shot of estrumate. You can use luteolize also. It's both of those are basically a prostaglandin. What that's going to do is get rid of the CL, which is going to make them ovulate. So this is the estrumate. This is the prostaglandin that we're going to give the injection of. It's a 1 milliliter dose for these sheep. We're going to give them a shot of this to make them ovulate, and then they should go into heat shortly after, and the ram will be in there with them for when they do. Alright, we got her in the chute. We're going to check and see. So on some of these, the tag end will actually go back up into the vulva. So always reach in and kind of feel. There's the little tag end. So pull gently. Just apply pressure. And it should come out. Just like so. And then we're going to give her a shot of estrumate. 1 cc in the neck. And she should be done. So her tag end is still hanging out. So we're going to grab it, gently pull. There it is. And just as a reminder on this estrumate, if you are a woman, wear gloves, because if you get it on you, it can interfere with your cycles. And then there's also a warning on it if you have asthma to wear gloves. Be careful. There's some complications that can happen if you get it on you if you have some respiratory issues. So hers isn't hanging out still, but as I said a minute ago, just always feel inside, because there is the tag end. And we just trim them short like that, guys, just to keep these curious ladies from chewing on them, nibbling on them, pulling them out of each other, basically. They'll pester each other and pull these things right out. So trim the tag ends real short. And they should stay in. We left these in 12 days. There's different protocols out there. This is just the one that seems to work for us. Then give the shot in the neck of the estrumate and turn her out, and she should be ready for the ram. So after you pull those cedars, always just go through, count, double check that the number you pulled is the number that you put in, so that you know you didn't miss one. And always, you know, like I said, ladies, wear gloves. Always make sure that you have all, like the entire cedar. You know, make sure part of it didn't break off. Or sometimes they'll pull them out. Sometimes they'll rub them on a panel. Sometimes they'll actually pull the cedar out in the field. So that just gives you an idea whether you've got them all, or if somebody's pulled one out, or if you missed one. If you run them through and you just missed one and didn't happen to pull the right animal up to get the cedar out. So always count. We got all the cedars accounted for. Everybody got a shot of Estrus. So now we're going to go introduce our new ram to these ladies. All right, guys, so on the last video we did, we asked y'all what name would be appropriate to name this new ram. We've had several comments, talked to people, you know, just in passing, and had some other ideas and suggestions. I think we're gonna go with Troubadour. We like that name. Jamie likes it, Briggs likes it, and it kind of fits him. So we're gonna probably call this guy Troubadour. Thanks to everybody for the comments and suggestions on the last video. All right, little buddy, here's your time for you to shine. That's what you've been waiting on. There he goes. All the ladies gonna go over there and check him out. He's the most popular sheep out here right now. Nobody should be cycling right this moment. It'll usually take about 24 hours later for them to be in good standing heat for him. We do basically a fence line introduction, so he's been close to them. There's something called a ram effect, that having a ram close to basically ewes that haven't been bred or exposed helps to increase the libido, and it helps to actually make these girls cycle. So we pulled the cedar, gave a shot of prostaglandin to make them ovulate. So here in the next 1 to 2 days, these ladies should be cycling, should be receptive to him. They're already interested in him just from pure curiosity, but stay tuned and we'll see how the knee ram works out for this group of girls. Checking every single one of them. So one other thing that you can do if you've got availability of it is PG 600. If you've got sheep or goats, that will help them to super ovulate. They tend to ovulate more follicles at a time, which means a higher incidence of multiples, twins, triplets, quads. That is, or has been, harder to find. The availability of it has been. We didn't do it on this group. This is their first time having babies, so I find it's a little harder when they have multiples on their first go around. So we didn't do that on this group. The ones that we have taken and had AI'd, we did do that. The mature ewes, the ones that had babies before, we'll give them PG 600 after that last shot of estrumate to help them super ovulate, help them have more follicles, and increase their likelihood of twins.
You know just what you do to me. Play my emotions like a pair of puppet strings. Did it ever occur to you my heart's more than a toy? Please go easy on me, babe. Send message after message, forward my calls. Next day you hit me back like nothing happened at all. What about all the things you used to say to me? This ain't the way it's supposed to be. And you know I wouldn't do that to you. And you know I wouldn't treat you that way, no. I've been running, can't catch up. Oh, love, what I
As always, guys, thank you for watching. If you like seeing the sheep content, the farm content, we even have some vet related content on the different playlists. Like and subscribe below. If you have any questions about anything, type that down in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching.